Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to make a really quick and easy little treat to kind of have on hand, something that won't blow your macro budget and is really quick and easy to put together. I love to have kind of versions of sweet treats on hand so that I can feel like I'm enjoying different flavors and different textures of things, but I'm not really kind of deviating too far from what I want to be having in a day. So this one is basically, it's kind of a Greek yogurt take on a tiramisu. So it's pretty simple, the ingredients. I'm just going to go ahead and start grabbing those. There's nothing that needs to be cooked. We're just going to layer this all together and then put it in the fridge, and it just will kind of uh, soak in and settle down into a really great textured dessert for you to be able to enjoy. So I'm going to grab some vanilla Greek yogurt out of the fridge. That's what we need first and foremost. Then I'm going to grab a little bit of instant espresso powder, and we need some containers. I'm just going to just set those there, and then I'm going to be working with some. These are caramel chocolate chip rice cakes. You can use just caramel ones or just chocolate as well, whatever you have that's just kind of sweet. That's basically kind of what we're looking to have is just something sweet. So I'm going to grab a couple of spoons and then also a little bit of a mixing bowl. So I'm just going to really just kind of crudely mix up. Not even really going to measure. I'm just going to put there's probably about 3/4 of a cup of water in this bowl. And I'm going to just go ahead and mix some of my espresso powder into that, just to kind of make a strong flavored espresso powder, because we're going to soak the rice cakes in this espresso so that, they'll kind of have that like coffee flavor that lends so nicely to kind of a tiramisu. And we're going to soak them just briefly. They'll fall apart if we leave them for too long, but the espresso kind of absorbs into the rice cake and makes her a really nice kind of cakey texture in between some layers of our Greek yogurt. So like I said, this is a vanilla Greek yogurt, so it is sweetened. If you have plain Greek yogurt, I've used that before a lot. You can just sweeten it with whatever sweetener you like to use. You can sweeten it with some honey, you can sweeten it with some no-calorie powdered sweetener as well, whatever is your sweetener of choice. And you can just make it to taste, depends on how sweet you want it to be. One other thing that I'm actually going to also go ahead and grab is, I think I'm going to throw a couple of little really mini chocolate chips in with this one. Just kind of give it a little bit of a different texture in there, and just kind of a little bit of a sweet flavor. I want to grab. Just use that. Just gonna whisk this a little bit. I have a couple of little chunks in here. So we're not going to whisk that all up. The reason the measurements don't really matter on this is because we're just making kind of a strong cold coffee, and then I'm just going to soak my rice cakes, and I'm just going to end up probably pouring the rest of it down the drain, because we're definitely not going to use it all. Okay, so first I'm going to put a little dollop, just like a round. I'm making just really little containers. These are actually just like kind of disposable containers that I get from the grocery store when I buy olives or whatever it is that I get. And I'm just going to put a layer of Greek yogurt on the bottom. Okay, just so that we can kind of have a little bit of a layered dessert in here. And this will add our protein to this dessert. And also give us somewhere to kind of nestle that rice cake down into. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. I'm just gonna do a little sparse. Just gonna like spread it to cover the whole bottom of this container. And the reason I like these containers is because I measured them and they fit one rice cake just perfectly. So that just kind of works really nicely. I guess if you have containers that would maybe a little bit too small, you could break up your rice cake and put it in there. It soaks down and kind of turns cakey, so it doesn't really matter if it's one like large piece in the bottom of your container. That really isn't going to affect things. So let me grab a fork to kind of fish this around with. So I'm just gonna go ahead and show you, I'm just gonna drop this in and I'm just gonna kind of submerge it and flip it over maybe once, maybe twice. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just lift that out and set it down into my container. Okay, so you can see that fits like just perfectly in there, nestles into that Greek yogurt. And I'm just gonna do that each time here. Okay, if we leave them too long in the liquid, they will really start to disintegrate. And it just is a little bit too much. It makes them a little bit mushy. So just flip them over 2 or 3 times. Just get a nice little soak going on there and push that in to your container. Okay, so you can quickly see how easy this recipe is going to be. We're going to finish off with these rice cakes. There's 3 done already. We'll do the last one. Oh, just kind of give it a nice soak. Okay. There we go. If you really like that strong coffee flavor, probably take about a teaspoon at this point and just pour a little bit more over top of that. Okay. I wouldn't like really douse it, but you can add a little bit here. It's going to absorb the moisture from our coffee, but it's also going to absorb some of the moisture from our Greek yogurt. Okay, so I'm going to throw that into the sink. Just a quick little wipe here. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my Greek yogurt. I'm going to take another scoop and just, if I had to measure this out, I would probably say that I'm using about two tablespoons in each of these. Just topping on here, and then we're just going to spread this out. Oh, maybe that's a little shy. Maybe we'll do 3 tablespoons. Okay. So just trying to cover it edge to edge. Again, so that we can absorb a little bit of that moisture. And just kind of have a nice little filling treat here. Okay, so there's another one. That one. Okay, so you can see in just a matter of minutes, I'm going to have these 4 yummy little desserts. Throw in the fridge. I find they're best if you let them sit to kind of really kind of soak together. Give them at least a couple hours. I will prep these and just keep them in the fridge for my treat throughout the week. The consistency of them works really well. And I'm just going to take a couple of chocolate chips, just these little mini ones, and drop them on the top. Just for a little bit of chocolate flavor in there. And then for one last little finishing touch, just so that it kind of looks a little fancier, I'm going to take some cocoa and I just have a little measure in here. I'm just gonna try to lightly dust a little bit of that, just tapping on there. So we have a little bit of cocoa powder dusted on the top of each of these. And there we go. We have 4 quick and easy protein tiramisu desserts for us to enjoy. So I have the lids. I'm just going to go ahead and put lids on each of those and toss them into the fridge. And like I said, a couple hours overnight, you're going to have some delicious desserts to enjoy. So I hope that you go ahead and try that recipe and let me know what you think. It's a really, really fun and easy one, and I think you'll really enjoy it.